10 Stoic rules to build unbreakable confidence from the inside out. Look at yourself in the mirror. Really look, not at your hair or your clothes, at your eyes. What do you see behind them? Maybe you see someone who's been playing small, someone who dims their light so others feel comfortable, someone who says sorry for things that don't need an apology, someone who waits for permission to exist fully. That's not weakness, that's conditioning. Somewhere along the way, you learn that confidence is for other people. The lucky ones, the gifted ones, the ones who weren't broken by life. But here's the truth they don't tell you. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's not a personality trait reserved for the fortunate few. Confidence is a skill, a practice, a muscle you build one rep at a time. And like any muscle, it starts small, weak, trembling. But with the right training, it grows. Until one day, you realize you're standing taller, speaking clearer, living louder. Not because life got easier, because you got stronger. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They weren't born confident, they built it. Through discipline, through practice, through facing their fears until fears learned to fear them. Epictetus was born a slave. Think about that. He had nothing, no rights, no freedom, no reason to believe in himself. And yet he became one of the most confident men in history. Not because of what he had, because of who he chose to become. He wrote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Confidence isn't about never failing. It's about knowing you can handle failure. It's not about never being afraid. It's about acting anyway. It's not about having all the answers. It's about trusting yourself to find them. Today, we're building that muscle. 10 Stoic rules to build unshakable confidence. Not the loud, fake kind that crumbles at the first challenge. The quiet, deep kind that nothing can touch. If you're tired of playing small, hit that like button. Drop one word in the comments. The one thing confidence would change about your life. Career, relationships, voice, name it. Subscribe because confidence isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. And starting today, you're practicing. Number 1, confidence is a decision, not a feeling. Most people spend their whole lives waiting to feel ready, waiting for the fear to disappear, waiting for some magical moment when confidence finally arrives like a package on their doorstep. They wake up in the morning and think, today might be the day. Today I might finally feel brave enough to speak, to start, to try. And then the day passes, and they don't, because that feeling never came. Here's what nobody tells you. That feeling is never coming. Not because you're broken, not because you're not meant to have it, because confidence doesn't work that way. It never has. It never will. Confidence is not a feeling that arrives before action. Confidence is what you build through action. It's the residue of courage, the evidence of showing up even when you didn't want to, the scar tissue from every time you did the thing you were afraid to do. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, watched people struggle with this his whole life. He saw them wait. He saw them hesitate. He saw them let opportunity after opportunity slip through their fingers because they were waiting to feel ready. And he wrote something that should be tattooed on your brain. It's not because things are difficult that we dare not venture. It's because we dare not venture that they are difficult. Read that again. Let it land. You think things are hard because you lack confidence. But Seneca says the opposite is true. You lack confidence because you haven't ventured. You haven't tried. You haven't proven to yourself what you're capable of. Every time you avoid something because you don't feel confident, you're training your brain. You're teaching it. See, we avoided it. We're safe. Avoidance works, and your brain learns. It learns that the way to stay safe is to stay small, to stay quiet, to stay stuck. But every time you do it anyway, every time you speak despite the fear, every time you try despite the doubt, every time you show up despite the uncertainty, you're training your brain differently. You're teaching it, See, we did it. Nothing bad happened. We survived. We can do this. And your brain learns that too. This is not positive thinking. This is neuroscience. This is how the brain actually works. Neural pathways that fire together, wire together. Every time you choose courage, you strengthen the pathway of courage. Every time you choose avoidance, you strengthen the pathway of fear. The Stoics understood this years before brain scans could prove it. They called it prohairesis, the power of choice. The one thing that's always yours, the one thing no one can take from you. You can't control whether you feel confident. Feelings come and go like weather. You can't command the sun to shine, but you can control what you do. You can control the choice, and the choice is everything. Epictetus, born a slave with nothing, understood this better than emperors. He said, "Some things are in our control and others not. Thoughts, impulses, will to get and will to avoid, these are in our control. Your feelings are not in your control. They come and go. But your will, your choice, that's yours, always. So stop waiting to feel confident. You'll be waiting forever. Feel the fear, feel the doubt, feel the uncertainty, and do it anyway. The butterflies in your stomach, they never fully go away. Public speakers who've been on stage for decades still feel them. Athletes before big games still feel them. Performers before shows still feel them. The difference isn't that the butterflies disappear. The difference is they've learned to fly in formation. You can too. Start today. One small thing you've been avoiding. Not the big thing, not the terrifying thing. Something small. A conversation you've been putting off. A question you've been afraid to ask. A step you've been hesitating to take. Do it. Not when you're ready. Now. Not when you feel confident. Now. Not when the fear subsides. Now. And afterward, notice what happened. Notice that you survived. Notice that the fear didn't kill you. Notice that you're still here, still breathing, still capable. That's evidence. That's proof. That's the beginning of confidence. Because confidence isn't built in the waiting. It's built in the doing. One small act of courage at a time. One choice at a time. One moment at a time. You don't find confidence. You build it with your own two hands, starting now. Number 2, stop seeking approval from people you wouldn't ask for advice. Think for a moment about who you're trying to impress. Not who you say you're trying to impress. Really think. When you post something online, whose validation are you waiting for? When you make a decision, whose voice do you hear judging you? When you achieve something, whose approval do you need to feel it's real? Be honest with yourself. Maybe it's a parent who was never satisfied. Maybe it's an ex who made you feel small. Maybe it's colleagues whose respect you crave. Maybe it's strangers on the internet whose names you don't even know. Now ask yourself this. Would you go to these people for life advice? Would you ask them how to navigate your career? How to raise your children? How to handle your deepest struggles? If the answer is no, and for most of them it probably is, then why are you letting them define your worth? Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote something in his private journal that cuts through all of this. He said, "I'm constantly amazed by how easily we love ourselves above all others, yet we value others' opinions of us more than our own." Read that slowly. Let it sink into your bones. You love yourself more than anyone. Your survival depends on it. Your instincts are wired for self-preservation. Every cell in your body wants you to live, to thrive, to be okay. And yet you hand over the keys to your self-worth to people who don't know you, who don't care about you, who wouldn't trade places with you for a second. Why? Because somewhere along the way, you learn that external validation equals safety. You learn that if they approve, you belong. If they clap, you're valuable. If they accept you, you won't be cast out. And in ancient times, being cast out meant death. So your brain wired itself to care, deeply, desperately. But here's the truth. Their approval is not safety. It's a trap. Because their approval is never permanent, never enough, never truly yours. Today they clap, tomorrow they forget. Today they praise, tomorrow they criticize. Today they accept you, tomorrow they find someone new. If your worth is built on their approval, your worth is built on sand. One wave and it's gone. The Stoics practiced something they called ascesis, training themselves to need less approval, less validation, less external noise. They understood that freedom isn't getting what you want. Freedom is needing less. Epictetus put it simply, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Read that. If you want to improve, be okay with them thinking you're foolish. Be okay with their judgment. Be okay with their disapproval, because their thoughts about you are not your problem. They never were. Here's a practice that will change your life. Before you seek someone's approval, ask yourself one question. Would I trade places with this person? Would you trade your life for theirs? Your struggles for theirs? Your mind for theirs? Your heart for theirs? If the answer is no, and for most people it is, then why are you letting them sit on the throne of your self-worth? You wouldn't ask them how to invest your money. You wouldn't ask them how to fix your marriage. You wouldn't ask them how to heal your pain. So why are you asking them how valuable you are? The only approval you truly need is your own. Not because you're arrogant, because you're the one who has to live with yourself. You're the one who lies in bed at night with your thoughts. You're the one who wakes up every morning in your skin. Their approval won't be there at 3 a.m. when the doubts come. Yours will. Or it won't. And that absence will echo. So start withdrawing your need for their approval. One opinion at a time. Someone criticizes you? Ask, is this person living a life I admire? If not, let their words pass through you like wind through trees. Let them rustle the leaves. Let them not break the branches. Someone disapproves of your choice? Ask, have they walked my path? Have they lived my life? If not, their map is useless for your journey. Someone withholds their validation? Ask, is their validation required for my next breath? The answer is always no. You are not here to be approved of. You're here to live, fully, deeply, on your own terms. Marcus Aurelius also wrote, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know what they're talking about." Most people don't know what they're talking about. Not about you, not about your life, not about your worth. They're guessing, projecting, reacting from their own wounds and fears. Stop collecting opinions from people who don't know the assignment. Build your confidence on something solid, on your own knowledge of yourself, on your own values, on your own choices, on your own evidence of what you can do. Their approval is a currency that devalues the moment you receive it. Yours is gold. Start spending it wisely. Number 3, competence creates confidence. Start small. There's a myth that haunts more people than any other. The myth that confidence comes first, that you need to feel ready before you begin. That somewhere out there, confident people woke up one morning and just knew they could do it. Let me show you what actually happens. A baby learning to walk doesn't stand up one day and think, I feel ready, I feel confident, let's do this. No, they pull themselves up on the edge of the coffee table. They wobble, they fall, they cry, they try again, and again, and again. Hundreds of times, thousands of times. And then one day they take one step, then another, and eventually they're running. Did confidence come first? No, confidence came last. It came after the falling, after the failing, after the getting back up. It came as a result, not a requirement. Epictetus understood this 10 years ago. He said something that should free you from the waiting game forever. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Read that again, let it land. If you want to improve, you must be willing to look foolish, willing to be bad at something, willing to stumble and fall and fail in front of others. Because that's the only path to competence, and competence is the only path to confidence. There are no shortcuts. You can't think your way into confidence. You can't affirm your way there. You can't visualize hard enough. Confidence doesn't come from your thoughts. It comes from your actions, from evidence, from proof. Every time you do something you were afraid to do, you create evidence. Evidence that you can. Evidence that you're capable. Evidence that fear is a liar. And that evidence accumulates. It becomes a story you tell yourself. Not, I hope I can, but I've done this before. I can do it again. That story is confidence. But it starts small. So small it almost feels embarrassing. You don't build confidence by giving a speech to 10,000 people. You build it by speaking up once in a meeting. You don't build it by running a marathon. You build it by putting on your shoes and walking out the door. You don't build it by asking someone out. You build it by saying hello. Small wins, repeated daily. That's the formula. That's the secret that nobody tells you. The Stoics called this kathekon, appropriate actions. The small right actions you take each day that align with who you want to become. Not the grand gestures, not the heroic feats, the small things, done consistently. Seneca wrote about this too. He said, "Not how long, but how well you have lived is the main thing." And living well means taking action. Small action, consistent action, action that builds something over time. Most people never start because they can't stand being a beginner. They look at people who've been practicing for years and think, I could never be that good. And they're right. Not because they lack talent, because they won't endure the awkwardness of being bad. But here's the truth. Every master was once a disaster. Every expert was once a beginner. Every confident person was once terrified. The difference isn't that they skipped the awkward phase. The difference is they stayed. They stayed when it was hard. They stayed when they looked foolish. They stayed when they wanted to quit. And staying built competence. And competence built confidence. So start smaller than you think you need to. Want to be more confident in conversations? Say one sentence in your next meeting. Just one. Win there. Then next time, say two. Win again. Want to be more confident in your body? Do one push-up today. Just one. Win there. Then tomorrow, do two. Win again. Want to be more confident in your work? Write one paragraph. Just one. Win there. Then tomorrow, write another. Win again. Small wins compound. They build on each other. They create momentum. And momentum creates confidence. Epictetus also said, first, say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. What would you be? Confident. Now do what you have to do. The small things, the daily things, the things that seem too small to matter. They matter more than you know, because every small win is a deposit in your confidence bank. And when the big moments come, the speech, the interview, the difficult conversation, you'll have a lifetime of deposits to draw from. Not because you suddenly became confident, because you've been building it, one small win at a time, for longer than you realize. Start today, right now. One small thing you've been avoiding. Do it. Not when you're ready, now. Not when you feel confident, now. Not when the fear subsides, now. The competence will come, and the confidence will follow. That's not hope. That's how it works. Every single time. Number 4, you are enough. Not because you're perfect, because you exist. This might sound like soft self-help, like something you'd read on a bumper sticker or a motivational Instagram post. You are enough. It's been repeated so often it's lost its teeth. But the Stoic version of this truth is not soft. It's hard. It's sharp. It cuts. Because the Stoics weren't saying you're enough because you're special. They weren't saying you're enough because you're talented or beautiful or successful. They were saying something far more radical, something that, if you truly understood it, would free you from a lifetime of striving, improving, and performing. They were saying, you are enough because you exist. That's it. That's the whole thing. The Stoics believed in something called oikeiosis. It's a Greek word that roughly translates to appropriation or belonging. But what it really means is this: you were born with an innate sense of self-worth. It's not earned. It's not conditional. It's built into the fabric of your being. A newborn baby doesn't earn the right to exist. A baby doesn't prove its worth. A baby doesn't achieve anything. And yet that baby is worthy of care, of love, of protection. Not because of what it's done, because it's here, because it's alive, because it exists. Somewhere along the way, you forgot that. You started attaching your worth to achievements, to appearances, to what you produce, to how others treat you. You started believing that you have to earn the right to take up space. And now you're exhausted, because the bar keeps moving. You achieve one thing, and now you need to achieve the next. You get one approval, and now you need another. You prove yourself once, and now you have to prove yourself again. It never ends, because it's not supposed to end. It's a game you can't win because the goalpost is always moving. Marcus Aurelius saw this clearly. He was emperor of Rome, the most powerful man in the world, and yet he wrote in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think about that. The emperor, with armies at his command, with wealth beyond measure, with the ability to kill or spare anyone he chose. Even he understood that his worth wasn't in those things. His worth was in his mind, in his choices, in his character. Your worth is not an outside event. It's not determined by your job title, your relationship status, your bank account, your follower count, your body shape, or your achievements. These things come and go. They rise and fall. They change with time and circumstance. If your worth is tied to them, your worth is tied to a roller coaster. Up one day, down the next. Never stable, never secure, never truly yours. But if your worth is tied to something deeper, to the simple, irreducible fact that you exist, then nothing can touch it. Not failure, not rejection, not loss, not even death. Epictetus, born a slave with nothing, understood this better than any emperor. He said, "Remember that you are an actor in a play, and the playwright chooses the manner of it. Short if he wants it short, long if he wants it long. If he wants you to play a beggar, play even that role well. If a cripple, a ruler, or a private citizen, do the same. For your job is to play the given role well, but choosing it belongs to another." Read that carefully. Your job is to play the role you're given well, not to judge it, not to compare it to others, not to wish it were different, just to play it well, with excellence, with integrity, with your whole heart. That's enough. That's always been enough. You are not here to be perfect. You're here to be present. You're not here to be the best. You're here to be yourself. You're not here to earn your worth. You're here to express it. Confidence isn't about thinking you're better than others. That's arrogance. And arrogance is just insecurity wearing armor. Real confidence is knowing you don't need to be better than others to be worthy. You just need to be you. The Stoics called this sophrosine, humility combined with self-knowledge. Knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, knowing your worth, and not needing anyone else to validate it. You are enough. Not after you fix everything, not after you lose 10 pounds, not after you get the promotion, not after you find the right relationship. Right now, in this moment, as you are. That's not arrogance, that's humility, because it means everyone else is enough too. We're all just here, doing our best, stumbling through this strange and beautiful life. And that's enough. That's always been enough. Let that sink into your bones. You don't have to earn the right to exist. You already have it. You don't have to prove your worth. It was given the day you were born. You don't have to become someone else. The someone you are right now is worthy of love, of respect, of peace. Not because you're perfect, because you're here, because you're trying, because you're human. And that is, and always has been, enough. Number 5, fear and confidence can coexist. Act anyway. There's a myth that keeps more people stuck than almost anything else. The myth that confident people don't feel fear. The belief that somewhere out there are people who walk into rooms with zero butterflies, zero doubt, zero inner trembling. Let me tell you the truth. Those people don't exist. Every single person who has ever done anything meaningful felt fear. Every public speaker, every athlete, every performer, every entrepreneur, every person who ever said, "I love you" first, every person who ever stood up for something they believed in, they all felt fear, every one of them. The difference isn't the absence of fear. The difference is what they did with it. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, watched people struggle with fear his whole life. He saw them hesitate. He saw them shrink. He saw them let opportunity after opportunity slip through their fingers because they were waiting for the fear to go away. And he wrote something that should be carved into your memory. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Think about that. Most of your fear is not about what's actually happening. It's about what might happen. It's about the future, about possibilities, about disasters that exist only in your mind. You're afraid to speak up because you imagine they'll judge you, but they haven't judged you yet. That's imagination. You're afraid to try because you imagine you'll fail, but you haven't failed yet. That's imagination. You're afraid to start because you imagine it won't work, but you haven't started yet. That's imagination. Your fear is not a fact. It's a prediction, and predictions are often wrong. The Stoics practiced something called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They would imagine worst-case scenarios, not to live in fear, but to prepare for them, to look at fear directly, to ask, what's the worst that could actually happen? And could I survive it? Try it right now with something you're afraid of. What's the worst that could happen? Really, be specific. You speak up and they disagree? Okay, you survive that. You try and you fail? Okay, you learn something. You start and it doesn't work? Okay, you try something else. The worst case is almost never as bad as your imagination makes it. And even when it is, you survive. You always have. 100% success rate so far. Marcus Aurelius understood this. He wrote, "Today I escaped from anxiety," or no, I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. The fear wasn't outside, it was inside, in his perceptions, in his thoughts, in his imagination. And because it was inside, he could do something about it. He could discard it, not by making it go away, by choosing not to feed it. Fear and confidence are not opposites. They're partners. They coexist. They always have. You don't have to wait for fear to leave before you act. You can act while fear is screaming in your ear. You can act while your heart is racing. You can act while your palms are sweating. You can act while every cell in your body is telling you to run. That's not weakness. That's courage. That's confidence in its truest form. Epictetus said, "Some things are in our control and others not. Thoughts, impulses, will to get and will to avoid, these are in our control." Your fear is not entirely in your control. It rises on its own. But your response to fear, your choice to act or shrink, that's yours, always. The next time fear shows up, don't wait for it to leave. It won't. Not until you prove to it that you're not listening. Not until you show it who's in charge. Thank it for trying to protect you. That's all fear has ever wanted, to keep you safe. It's an overprotective parent still treating you like a child who can't handle life. Look fear in the eye and say, I hear you. I know you're trying to help, but I've got this. Then do the thing anyway. Speak anyway. Try anyway. Start anyway. Ask anyway. Go anyway. And afterward, notice what happened. Notice that you survived. Notice that the fear didn't kill you. Notice that you're still here, still breathing, still capable. That's evidence. That's proof. That's the beginning of a new relationship with fear. Because fear learns too. Every time you act despite it, fear learns that you're not listening. Every time you move forward anyway, fear learns that it doesn't control you. Every time you prove you can handle it, fear gets a little quieter. Not because it's gone, because it knows it's wasting its breath. You don't become confident by eliminating fear. You become confident by proving to yourself over and over that fear doesn't get to decide. Fear shows up, you act anyway. That's confidence, that's courage, that's freedom. Number 6, comparison is the thief of confidence. You're scrolling through your phone. It's late, you should be sleeping, but your thumb keeps moving, pulling down, refreshing, looking for something you can't name. And there it is, her vacation, his promotion, their perfect relationship, the body you wish you had, the life you thought you'd be living by now. And suddenly you feel small, invisible, behind. Like everyone else got the memo about how to live, and you're still trying to figure out the first page. This is the trap, the confidence killer, the thief that steals more than joy. It steals your sense of self. Theodore Roosevelt said it simply, comparison is the thief of joy. But it's worse than that. Comparison is the thief of confidence. Because when you compare, you're always measuring your behind the scenes against everyone else's highlight reel. You see their victory, not their struggle. Their result, not their process. Their smile, not their tears. Their mountaintop, not the long, lonely climb to get there. And you're comparing your full, messy, complicated life to their carefully curated highlights. It's a game you can't win because it's rigged. The rules are written to make you lose. The Stoics knew this trap well. They lived in a society obsessed with status, with reputation, with climbing the social ladder. Sound familiar? Nothing has changed. We just swapped the forum for Instagram. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, had more status than almost anyone in history, and yet he wrote in his journal, "The things you really value are simple. They are within constant reach. They don't depend on the opinions of others." Think about that. The most powerful man in the world reminding himself that what truly matters doesn't depend on comparison, doesn't depend on others, is always within reach. Your worth is not determined by how you stack up against anyone else. It can't be, because worth isn't a competition. It's not a ladder with limited rungs. There's not a finite amount of value in the universe that you have to fight for. Epictetus, born a slave with nothing, understood this even more deeply. He said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. Don't wish to be thought wise. If anyone considers you important, distrust yourself." Read that carefully. Don't wish to be thought wise. If anyone considers you important, distrust yourself. Why? Because seeking to be seen a certain way traps you in comparison. It hands your peace over to others. It makes your confidence dependent on their opinions. The only way out is to stop playing the game entirely. The Stoics practiced something called the view from above. They would imagine looking down on earth from high above, seeing all of humanity going about their tiny lives, worrying about things that, from that height, meant nothing. From up there, your neighbor's new car doesn't matter. Your friend's Instagram-worthy vacation disappears into the vastness. Your fear that everyone else has it figured out becomes laughable, because from up there, you see the truth. Nobody has it figured out. Everyone's struggling. Everyone's pretending. Everyone's scared. We're all just here, doing our best, trying to make it through. Seneca wrote about this too. He said, "Compare your life with that of those who suffer, and you will see how much reason you have to be grateful. But if you compare yourself with those above you, you will seem to yourself to have less than you deserve, and you will suffer accordingly." Notice what he's saying. Comparison upward makes you miserable. Comparison downward makes you grateful. But even better than both? Not comparing at all. Your path is yours alone. Nobody else has your combination of gifts, wounds, dreams, and destiny. Nobody else has lived your life. Nobody else walks in your shoes. You're not here to be a copy of someone else's life. You're here to become the fullest expression of yourself. That person you're comparing yourself to, they have their own struggles you know nothing about, their own doubts, their own fears, their own 3 a.m. terrors. You just don't see them. Nobody posts those. So here's a practice that will change everything. Instead of, "They have what I want," try, "Their success shows me what's possible." Instead of, "I'm so far behind," try, "I'm exactly where I need to be to learn what I need to learn." Instead of, "Why not me?" try, "My time is coming." The shift is subtle but seismic. It takes your focus off their life and puts it back on yours, where it belongs. Run your own race, at your own pace, toward your own finish line. Not the finish line your parents wanted. Not the finish line society designed. Not the finish line your high school classmates are racing toward. Yours, the one that matters to you. And here's the beautiful secret. When you stop comparing, you free yourself to celebrate others genuinely. You can look at their success and feel happy for them instead of diminished by them. Because their victory doesn't hurt you. It proves that good things are possible, for them and for you. There's enough sunlight for every flower, enough rain for every seed, enough success for every dreamer. The universe isn't running out of blessings. Your confidence doesn't come from being better than others. It comes from being fully yourself, from running your own race, from knowing that your path is sacred, unique, unrepeatable. Stop measuring your depth against someone else's height. Stop weighing your progress on someone else's scale. Stop letting their journey define yours. You are not in competition with anyone but the person you were yesterday. And that person? You're already beating them. Every day you show up, you win. That's where real confidence lives. Not in comparison, in progression, in becoming, in the quiet knowledge that you're running your own race, at your own pace, toward your own finish line. And that's enough. That's always been enough. Number 7, your body can teach your mind confidence. For too long, you've believed that confidence starts in the mind, that if you could just think the right thoughts, feel the right feelings, believe the right things, then your body would follow. Then you'd stand taller, speak clearer, take up space. But what if it works the other way too? What if your body can teach your mind? The Stoics understood something that modern science is only now confirming. Your mind and body are not separate. They're not even two things connected by a bridge. They're one system, a unified field. And what happens in your body doesn't just reflect what's happening in your mind, it shapes it. Epictetus, the slave who became free, said something simple and profound. First, say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. Notice the order. Say what you would be, then do what you have to do. The doing comes second, but it comes. And the doing shapes the being. If you want to be confident, you must do what confident people do. Not because you're pretending, because the doing creates the being. Think about your body right now. How are you sitting? Are you slumped, shoulders rounded, head down, looking small? Now try something. Sit up straight, pull your shoulders back, lift your chin, take a deep breath. Feel the difference? That's not imagination, that's physiology. When you expand your body, you increase testosterone and decrease cortisol. When you take up space, your brain gets the message. We're confident here. We're in charge. When you stand tall, your mind follows. Amy Cuddy, a Harvard researcher, studied this phenomenon. She found that holding your body in expansive postures for just 2 minutes changes your brain chemistry, makes you more confident, more willing to take risks, more likely to succeed. The Stoics knew this 2,000 years before brain scans could prove it. They called it ascesis, training. Not just mental training, physical training, because they knew the two were inseparable. Marcus Aurelius wrote about getting out of bed in the morning, about the moment when your body wants to stay under the warm covers and your mind starts making excuses. He said, when you get up in the morning, tell yourself, today I am going to encounter people who are interfering, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, and envious. But I know that these people have experienced good and evil, and I can't be harmed by them. Notice what he's doing. He's using his body, the act of getting up, to train his mind. He's not waiting to feel motivated. He's not waiting to feel ready. He's getting up. And the getting up shapes everything. Your body can teach your mind confidence, but only if you let it. Only if you stop waiting for the feeling and start with the posture. Before a difficult conversation, stand tall. Before a presentation, lift your chin. Before walking into a room full of strangers, pull your shoulders back. Hold that posture for 2 minutes. Feel what happens. You're not pretending to be confident. You're accessing confidence that was always there, buried under years of shrinking and hiding and making yourself small. Seneca understood this too. He wrote, "We should hunt out the helpful pieces of teaching and the spirited and noble-minded sayings which are capable of immediate practical application." Notice the phrase, immediate practical application. Not philosophy for philosophy's sake, not ideas to ponder, things you can do right now, things you can apply immediately. Your posture is immediate practical application. You can change it right now, this moment, and that change will ripple through your entire being. Here's something else to consider. The way you hold your body doesn't just affect how you feel, it affects how others perceive you. And how others perceive you affects how you perceive yourself. It's a feedback loop. When you stand tall, people treat you differently. They make eye contact. They listen when you speak. They assume you have something to say. And that treatment reinforces your confidence. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But it starts with you, not with them. With your choice to take up space. With your choice to stand tall, even when you feel small. With your choice to let your body lead. Epictetus also said, practice then, from the start, to say to every harsh impression, you are just an impression, and not at all what you appear to be. Your body can help you do this. When the harsh impression comes, the doubt, the fear, the insecurity, your body can respond before your mind catches up. It can stand tall, it can breathe deep, it can refuse to shrink. And that physical refusal changes everything. It sends a signal to your brain. We're not playing this game today. We're not shrinking. We're not hiding. We're standing. Try it today. Right now. Stand up. Take up space. Breathe deep. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the solidity, the rootedness, the strength that's always been there. That's not fake. That's not pretending. That's you accessing something real. Something that's been waiting for you to remember it. Your body knows how to be confident. It remembers. Before the world taught you to shrink, before criticism taught you to hide, before failure taught you to doubt, your body knew how to stand tall, how to take up space, how to be. That knowledge is still there, buried under years of conditioning, but still there, waiting. Let your body lead. Stand tall, breathe deep, take up space, and watch your mind follow. Number 8, rejection is redirection, not verdict. Few things wound the human spirit like rejection. A door closes, someone says no. You're not chosen, you're not wanted, you're not enough. And in that moment, something inside you collapses. A voice rises. See, I knew it. I knew I wasn't good enough. I knew this would happen. I knew. But here's the truth that will set you free. Rejection is not a verdict. It's data, information, nothing more. Someone doesn't hire you. That's one person's decision, based on their preferences, their needs, their biases, their mood that day, their own history. It's not a fact about you. It's a fact about them. Someone doesn't love you back. That's one heart's choice. One person's inability to see what you offer. It's not a statement about your lovability. It's a statement about their capacity. Someone chooses someone else. That's one door closing. It doesn't mean all doors are closed. It doesn't mean you're unworthy of doors. It means that particular door wasn't yours. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, faced rejection too. Not in the way we think of it, but he faced opposition, criticism, people who didn't believe in him, people who plotted against him. And he wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." Let that sink in. Their rejection is their opinion, their perspective, based on their stuff, not a fact about you, not the truth about your worth. The Stoics made a crucial distinction that most people miss. They distinguish between what's in our control and what's not. Their decision to reject you, not in your control. Your response to that rejection, completely in your control. Epictetus put it simply, some things are in our control and others not. Thoughts, impulses, will to get and will to avoid, these are in our control. Their rejection is not in your control. Your interpretation of that rejection, in your control. Your decision to let it define you or refine you, in your control. Your choice to stop trying or to keep going, in your control. Most people hand their power over at the moment of rejection. They let the no become a verdict. They let the closed door become a wall. They let someone else's opinion become their identity. But you don't have to do that. You can choose differently. Here's a reframe that will change how you experience rejection forever. Rejection is redirection. Every closed door is pointing you toward the one that's meant to open. Every no is clearing the path for the right yes. Every person who can't see your worth is making space for the one who will. Think about your own life. Look back at the rejections you've experienced, the jobs you didn't get, the relationships that ended, the opportunities that fell through. Now look at where you are now. Would you be here if those doors had opened? Would you be who you are if you'd gotten everything you wanted? Probably not. Probably those rejections shaped you, redirected you, pushed you towards something better, even if it didn't feel like it at the time. Seneca wrote about this too. He said, "Fire tests gold, and misfortune tests brave men." Rejection is a test, not a test of your worth, a test of your resilience, a test of your ability to keep going when things don't go your way, a test of whether you'll let a no stop you or fuel you. Every successful person has been rejected, repeatedly, spectacularly, in ways that would have crushed most people. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before one said yes. 12. 12 people looked at Harry Potter and said, "No thanks." Think about that. If she'd stopped at 11, the world would never have known her stories. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Fired for lacking imagination. The man who built an empire on imagination. Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school 3 times. 3 times. One of the most successful directors in history told he wasn't good enough. The difference isn't that these people were immune to rejection. It's that they didn't let rejection define them. They didn't translate no into never. They didn't let someone else's opinion become their identity. They kept going. Because they understood something you're learning right now. Rejection is not a verdict, it's redirection. The next time someone says no, pause. Feel the sting. Let it be there. Don't pretend it doesn't hurt. But then ask yourself different questions. Not, what's wrong with me? But, what can I learn from this? Not, Why am I not enough? But where is this redirecting me? Not, should I give up? But what's the next right thing? Your story is not written by the people who say no. It's written by you, by how you respond, by whether you keep going, by whether you let rejection refine you instead of define you. Epictetus said something that should be your mantra in these moments. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Rejection happened. That's the event. Your reaction? That's yours. That's your power. That's where freedom lives. So react like someone who knows their worth isn't up for debate. React like someone who understands that every no is clearing the path for the right yes. React like someone who's been redirected before and knows it led somewhere better. Keep going. The right doors are still ahead. Numero 9. Confidence is quiet. Insecurity is loud. Look around at the world. Really look. What do you see? You see people shouting to be heard, posting to be seen, performing to be noticed. You see influencers screaming for attention, politicians demanding agreement, celebrities desperate to stay relevant. And underneath all that noise, you sense something. A hollowness, a hunger, a need that can never be filled. That's not confidence. That's its opposite. Confidence is quiet. It doesn't need to announce itself. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't need validation. It just is. Insecurity is loud. It needs constant reassurance. It needs to hear you're enough from everyone else because it doesn't believe it from itself. It performs, it boasts, it fights, it proves, and none of it ever fills the hole. The Stoics understood this distinction better than anyone. They lived in a society obsessed with reputation, with status, with how you appeared to others. Sound familiar? Nothing has changed. We've just traded the forum for Instagram. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, had more status than almost anyone in history, and yet he wrote in his journal, for his eyes only, "Don't waste the rest of your time here worrying about other people, unless it affects the common good. It will keep you from doing anything useful. You'll be too preoccupied with what so-and-so is doing, and why, and what they're saying, and what they're thinking, and what they're plotting." Notice what he's doing. He's reminding himself not to care too much about others' opinions, not because he's arrogant, because he knows that caring too much is a trap. It makes you loud, makes you perform, makes you need, and neediness is the enemy of confidence. Seneca wrote about this too. He said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." The same is true for confidence. Real confidence enjoys the present. It doesn't need to prove anything. It doesn't need to perform. It's comfortable in its own skin. It can sit quietly in a room and be perfectly fine. Insecurity can't do that. Insecurity needs an audience, needs validation, needs to be seen. Because if no one's watching, insecurity starts to wonder if it even exists. Think about the loudest person you know. The one who always has to be right, the one who boasts about their achievements, the one who can't stand being ignored. What do you feel around them? Do you feel their strength? Or do you sense something else? Something desperate, something hungry, something that can never be filled. Now think about the quietest, confident person you know, the one who doesn't need to prove anything, the one who listens more than they speak, the one who can handle silence without filling it. What do you feel around them? Safe? Calm? Grounded? That's the difference. Confidence attracts. Insecurity repels. Confidence gives. Insecurity takes. Confidence rests. Insecurity scrambles. Epictetus, born a slave with nothing, understood this at the deepest level. He said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. Don't wish to be thought wise. If anyone considers you important, distrust yourself." Read that again. If anyone considers you important, distrust yourself. Why? Because seeking to be seen as important is a trap. It makes you dependent on their opinions. It makes you need their approval. And neediness is the death of confidence. The truly confident person doesn't need to be seen as important. They just are important. To themselves, to the people who matter, to the work they're doing. They don't need the world's approval because they have their own. Marcus Aurelius also wrote, "The things you really value are simple. They are within constant reach. They don't depend on the opinions of others." Confidence is one of those things. It's within constant reach. It doesn't depend on others. It's yours to cultivate, yours to practice, yours to embody. But it requires letting go of the need to be loud, letting go of the need to prove, letting go of the need to perform. Here's a practice that will transform your confidence. For one day, try not to prove anything. Just exist. Speak when you have something to say. Stay silent when you don't. Don't fill the silence. Don't perform. Don't try to impress. Just be. Notice what happens. Notice the freedom. Notice the peace. Notice how much energy you save when you're not constantly performing. That saved energy can go into something real. Your work, your relationships, your growth, the things that actually matter. Seneca said, "We should hunt out the helpful pieces of teaching and the spirited and noble-minded sayings which are capable of immediate practical application." Here's an immediate practical application. The next time you feel the urge to prove yourself, pause. Ask, who am I trying to convince, and why? If the answer is myself, then proving won't work. You don't need to prove. You need to practice. You need to build. You need to become. If the answer is others, then proving is a trap. Their opinions are not in your control. You'll never convince everyone. And even if you could, it wouldn't fill the hole. Real confidence is quiet because it has nothing to prove. It knows its worth. It doesn't need to announce it. It doesn't need to defend it. It just is. Like a mountain. The mountain doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need to. It's just there. Massive. Unshakable. Present. Like an oak tree. The oak doesn't boast about its roots. It just grows. Deep and strong and steady. Like the ocean doesn't need to prove its power. It just is. Vast and deep and unstoppable. You can be like that. Not by becoming loud, by becoming still. Not by proving, by becoming. Not by performing, by being. Confidence is quiet. Insecurity is loud. Which one are you feeding? Number 10, you become what you repeatedly do. This is the master key, the one that unlocks everything we've talked about, the truth that ties all 9 previous rules together into a single, actionable principle. You become what you repeatedly do, not what you think about, not what you intend, not what you hope for, not what you plan, what you do, repeatedly, day after day, choice after choice, moment after moment. Aristotle said it first, and it's been echoed by every wisdom tradition since. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Read that again. Excellence is not an act, it's a habit. Confidence is not an act, it's a habit. Courage is not an act, it's a habit. All of it, the qualities you admire, the strengths you wish you had, the person you want to become, all of it is built through repetition, through daily practice, through small choices compounded over time. The Stoics understood this at the deepest level. They weren't interested in philosophy as an intellectual exercise. They weren't collecting ideas to feel smart. They were building a practice, a way of living, a daily discipline. Epictetus said it plainly. First, say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. What would you be? Confident. Now do what you have to do. Speak up, stand tall, try anyway, show up, again and again and again. Not because it's easy, because it's practice. and practice builds the muscle. Think about how you learned to walk. Did you read a book about it? Did you attend a seminar? Did you wait until you felt ready? No. You pulled yourself up. You fell. You cried. You tried again. Hundreds of times. Thousands of times. Until one day, you were walking. That's how everything works. That's how confidence works. Every small act of courage is a deposit in your confidence bank. Speaking when you're afraid, trying when you might fail, standing tall when you want to shrink. Each one is a deposit. Each one strengthens the muscle. And every time you shrink, every time you stay silent, every time you let fear win, that's a withdrawal. The muscle weakens. The bank balance drops. The question isn't whether you'll face moments of fear and doubt. You will. Everyone does. The question is whether you'll make more deposits than withdrawals. Marcus Aurelius wrote about this in his journal. He reminded himself daily of the small choices that build character. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I am rising to do the work of a human being. Why am I so dissatisfied if I'm going to do what I was made for? Notice what he's doing. He's using the small choice, getting out of bed, to build something larger. He's not waiting for motivation. He's not waiting to feel like it. He's choosing. And that choice, repeated daily, shapes who he becomes. You become what you repeatedly do. If you repeatedly shrink, you become small. If you repeatedly hide, you become invisible. If you repeatedly stay silent, you become voiceless. But if you repeatedly speak, you become a speaker. If you repeatedly try, you become a doer. If you repeatedly stand tall, you become someone who can't be knocked down. It's not magic, it's mechanics. It's how the human brain works. Neural pathways that fire together, wire together. Every time you choose courage, you strengthen the pathway of courage. Every time you choose confidence, you strengthen the pathway of confidence. Every time you choose action over fear, you make it easier to choose action next time. Seneca understood this. He said, each day acquire something that will fortify you against poverty, against death, indeed against other misfortunes as well. And after you have run over many thoughts, select one to be thoroughly digested that day. Notice the practice. Each day acquire something. Each day, select one thing to thoroughly digest. That's how you build. One day at a time, one choice at a time, one lesson at a time. You don't become confident in a day. You become confident through thousands of days. Each one a brick, each one a step, each one a choice. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to never fail. You don't have to never shrink. You just have to keep showing up. Keep making deposits. Keep choosing courage more often than you choose fear. Epictetus said something that should free you from the tyranny of perfectionism. If you would improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. You will look foolish sometimes. You will fail sometimes. You will shrink sometimes. That's okay. That's human. What matters is that you keep going. Keep practicing, keep building, because the person you become is not the person who never fails. The person you become is the person who never stops trying. Think about the people you admire, the confident ones, the ones who seem unshakable. Do you think they got there by never failing? No, they got there by failing and getting back up, by falling and learning, by shrinking and then standing tall again. They made more deposits than withdrawals, that's all. And you can too. Start today, right now. One small choice, one act of courage, one deposit. Speak up about something that matters. Stand tall in a moment of doubt. Try something you've been avoiding. Say yes to something that scares you. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be. Because that one choice added to all the others is building something. Slowly, quietly, inevitably, you become what you repeatedly do. So what will you repeatedly do from this day forward? Will you repeatedly shrink, or will you repeatedly stand? Will you repeatedly stay silent, or will you repeatedly speak? Will you repeatedly let fear win, or will you repeatedly choose courage? The answer is in your hands, in your choices, in your daily practice. You become what you repeatedly do. So choose wisely, choose daily, choose now. You made it all the way through. 10 rules, hours of wisdom, and you stayed. That says something about you. It says you're serious about changing. It says you're ready to stop playing small. It says you're choosing confidence, even if you don't feel it yet. Remember what we covered. Confidence is a decision, not a feeling. Stop seeking approval from people you wouldn't ask for advice. Competence creates confidence. Start small. You are enough, not because you're perfect, but because you exist. Fear and confidence can coexist. Act anyway. Comparison is the thief. Run your own race. Your body can teach your mind. Stand tall. Rejection is redirection, not a verdict. Confidence is quiet. Insecurity is loud. And finally, you become what you repeatedly do. This is the path, not easy, but simple. One choice at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. Before you go, hit that like button, not for me, as a promise to yourself that you're done living small. Drop a comment. Which of these 10 rules hit you hardest? I read them. I'm with you. Share this with someone who needs to remember their worth. Subscribe. This is daily practice. You need these reminders. We all do. Come back when the doubt creeps in. Let these words be your anchor. You are worthy. You are enough. You are becoming. And your best days, they're still ahead.